Captain, what is the message you got to these guys in the off season? You won't feel this at the end of the season next year.
I don't even know, bro. You know, this is my first time. I haven't been in the playoffs, man. So, I mean, for me, like I said, man, I just got to do what's best for me and my family, dog. If that's here, or if that's wherever the case may be, man, I'm finna open that door for myself, dog. As I'm opening the door, like I'm out, bro. You know, so it was great playing here, but you know, at the end of the day, bro, I got to do what's best for, you know, for my career and, you know, what's best. Because I'm too much of a competitor to be, you know, just out there.
Mean you thinking about leaving here?
If it is, hey, yeah.
You mentioned the situation that God put you in, but when we heard you after the Week 18 game, it sounded like you didn't want to be in that situation anymore. And I understand it's an emotional time, but you said it. So where are you now?
I'm in a good space, man. I've had a conversation with my mom, had a conversation with my wife, and basically, like, as a father, you don't need to put yourself in a situation like that. It doesn't matter how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, be able to, you know, man up, because at the end of the day, you're a leader of men. Like, you're a leader of this team. So you got to know how to handle yourself in those moments. Right. Like, take accountability. Right. And I'm taking full accountability of what I said, man. Like, I don't deserve to say anything like that. Yeah. You know, Miami Dolphins, they paying me to play this. Yeah. They've been good to you. They've been very good to me. Right.
What do you make of that, RC? One, he's done.
One, it ain't the right time, though. Yeah. It's not the right time or the right place. You weren't saying this when they threw you, or when you caught 119 balls the last 2 seasons and over 1,700 yards. All you talked about was how great your quarterback was, how great your play caller was. And you know you had a year of struggle because your quarterback was injured. Yeah. And even if you feel this way, one, you don't inform your team that you're not available if you can still run, if you can still play. And secondly, you don't go back into the locker room post-game and say these things when you understand it's been a tough season for everybody. And I get it. If you're a competitor and you want to win, you can't be oxymoronic, because a competitor that wants to win gets on the field when he's asked to get on the field because he's that good and can allow his team to succeed. And so to me, it's total bullcrap by Tyreek Hill, and in his actions and in his words.
Man, I feel like, bro, y'all too, I love y'all too, but this joke here, that's pissing me off. Tell me why I'm pissing off. My mom always sending me stuff for what Mr. Ryan Clark always saying about me.
So here's what I said about you. Here's what I said about you. When you go into the locker room and you say what you said, that's not leadership to me. Right. When you and I can say, I'll say that to your face. Right. I'm never gonna say anything about y'all that I wouldn't say in front of y'all, because I know I paint a certain picture. Right. I'm pro player all the time, but in that situation, you a leader, right? And like, people look at you not only for what you do in Miami, but for what you do overall. Right. You're better than, in my opinion, you're better than that. You're right, in my opinion. So having calmed down, how do you see that situation now?
I feel just like you said. You know what I'm saying? I feel exactly like you said, though. Like, no bad blood against anybody.
Thank you so much for checking in with the channel. Ryan Clark recently made waves with his criticism of Tyreek Hill, specifically pointing out what he perceived as Hill's lack of leadership during the Miami Dolphins' struggles at the end of the season. Clark, a former NFL player and current analyst, emphasized that while Hill is one of the most dynamic playmakers in the league, his leadership qualities seemed to be missing when the team needed them most. Clark argued that leadership in the NFL isn't just about talent or making big plays, it's about stepping up in critical moments, especially when the team faces adversity. As the Dolphins limped toward the end of the regular season, with playoff hopes hanging by a thread, Hill, according to Clark, didn't take on the vocal, motivating role that a leader typically would in such a situation. Clark suggested that a true leader is someone who rallies the team, holds teammates accountable, and provides a sense of direction in difficult times. And for Clark, Hill didn't do enough of that. Hill's incredible performance on the field, especially his explosive speed and game-changing ability, was never in question. But Clark's critique focused on the off-field, intangible qualities that separate a star from a leader. In times when the Dolphins' playoff hopes were uncertain and their momentum faltered, Clark believed Hill should have been more involved in rallying the team, setting an example for others to follow, and injecting some urgency into the locker room. Instead, Hill's demeanor seemed more focused on his own game, which Clark felt contributed to the lack of cohesion and drive down the stretch. Ultimately, Clark's comments weren't an attack on Hill's ability, but rather on his approach to leadership. In Clark's view, a player like Hill, who's not just a top receiver but also a key figure in the locker room, should take more initiative in times of adversity. Without that leadership presence, even the most talented teams can struggle to close out a season successfully. Please consider subscribing, leave a comment and see you in the next video.